Harry, today's reading is in Luke chapter 22, verse 39 to 42. Let me go ahead and read it and we'll get your thoughts. Jesus went out as usual to the Mount of Olives and his disciples followed him. On reaching the place, he said to them, "Pray that you will not fall into temptation." He withdrew about a stone's throw beyond them, knelt down and prayed, "Father, if you are willing, take this cup from me, yet not my will, but yours be done." Your thoughts, Harry?
Yeah, so it starts with Jesus went out as usual. Doesn't sound like much by itself, but I believe there is a lot of meaning there. After the Passover supper, Jesus, as usual, went to the Mount of Olives to pray, a pleasant, quiet place. Jesus loved to get alone with his Father. But remember earlier in the day that Jesus gave an obscure directions to Peter and John on the location of the house for the Last Supper. Judas was listening, had the money in his pocket, and was looking for the right occasion and location to betray Jesus. The Last Supper event was holy, and it was not going to be interrupted. Now he was going as usual to the Mount. He did that every year on purpose, I believe. I believe that he did it every year for prayer, yes, plus to get a pattern set for Judas to know and bring the enemy. Judas thought he was clever to know Jesus' pattern, congratulating himself. Jesus and the Father had set this strategy years ago, I think. Foolish Judas was just taking Satan's bait and feeling clever. So now Judas was coming in an hour with the soldiers. Now was a time of prayer. Jesus was feeling overwhelming pressure. No one in the world's history has ever suffered like he was going to. Jesus prayed to the Father to have the cup of suffering removed. Not as I will, but as you will. Jesus knew the answer would be no. Jesus prayed it 3 times. Jesus suffered immensely. But please remember, the Father loved Jesus. It was his only begotten Son. The Father also suffered immensely. But they also loved us. So the answer was no. Verse 43 says, an angel from heaven appeared to him and strengthened him to submit to Judas and Satan's people. Does that not sound wrong? But that is the Jesus way. And are we ready for that? Then they came. Judas was leading them to Jesus for the wrong reason. Judas greeted him with a kiss, also for the wrong reason. The group with Judas were chief priests, the temple guards, and elders, fellow Jews, not necessarily a real formidable group, but that wasn't required because Jesus was going to surrender to them. Peter grabbed one of the 2 swords they had brought along on Jesus' instruction. He swung it and cut off the ear of one of the servants. Then Jesus healed the man and restored his ear. Let's go to Matthew 26, 52 to 54, please, Justin.
Yeah, for sure. It says, "Put your sword back in its place," Jesus said to him, "for all who draw the sword will die by the sword. Do you think I cannot call on my Father and he will at once put at my disposal more than 12 legions of angels? But how then would the scriptures be fulfilled that says it must happen in this way?"
Yeah. So why did Jesus tell his disciples to bring swords? My opinion only, but to show them that they are really totally not necessary. This was the only sword event in the New Testament by a Jesus person. The Old Testament wasn't like that, but this one is. Jesus said here, all who draw the sword will die by the sword. Jesus said also that his Father would send 12 legions of angels if Jesus required them, more than enough to destroy every army on earth, then and now. Remember, it took just one angel to encourage Jesus to face the cross. And that is so special to me. One angel could, this is the biggest struggle that ever happened, and one angel could to encourage Jesus. This same Father protects all his children, including us, as he sees fit. They arrested Jesus and led him away. This will be Jesus' darkest hour.
It's very sad, but thank you very much for this, Harry.
Thank you.